Hello and welcome to Progress Wrestling, and this is the Hype Show. My name's Johners from Wrestling with Johners. Mad Dog, great to have you back on the Progress Hype Show. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, John, it's absolutely brilliant to be here, and great to see you looking so well, my friend. It looks like you've been the gym by the looks of things, Johners.
Oh, once or twice, but absolutely, it's been the summer of Johners, and I'm feeling fantastic. But now we're in the autumn of 2024, and it's all about Halloween, Mike. And it's all
it's going to be the fall of Johners.
Don't say that. I said I was in a good mood before I started talking to you. Werewolves of London, chapter 172. And it's this coming Sunday, Mike, October the 27th, from the Electric Ballroom, the spiritual home of Progress Wrestling in Camden, London. Kickoff time of 3 p.m. And we've got so much to look forward to. But can you believe it's been a year since we last did one of these, Mike? We did the Progress Hype shows for about a year and a half, and then it stopped. And now we're back again with Werewolves of London, October the 27th. But it's great to be hosting with you. You are officially the busiest man in British professional wrestling.
Yeah, I've been pretty hectic the last couple of weeks. We've had an amazing time. But obviously we've had a chance to catch up and do a few podcasts for TNT Extreme Wrestling, but absolutely honoured to be asked back to do the Progress Hypecasts. And we've got so much to talk about. Obviously, we've got a year worth of shows you need to cover, John, as you're going to have to break that down pretty quick there.
We're not doing that. We are not doing that. But we will be talking about the most recent show, which, of course, was History is Written by the Victors from the Ballroom last month, Sunday, the 22nd of September. We will talk about that. But besides all of that, we'll kind of have a bit of a recap of that show, how it all went down, but more importantly, go and check that one out on Progress On Demand. But we will be talking about these fine matches that we have in store this coming Sunday, Mike, from the Ballroom. Once again, Werewolves of London. And you've got it's championship matches galore on that card. It's absolutely stacked. You've got some tremendous matches to look forward to. And if you haven't got your tickets already, then go over to progresswrestling.com/tickets, or just simply click in the link in the description to watching this, or if you're listening to this on audio formats or any Progress socials, the link's going to be there, Mike, and get your ticket or tickets today. But don't be that guy, because looking at that card, Mike, it's going to be an absolute banger, like it always is for Progress Wrestling.
Absolutely solid card, and just some amazing matches on there. Some of the absolute best in Europe on that card, and it is going to be an absolute classic show. So, yeah, really excited for it. Obviously, Halloween themed. I've heard that there's going to be some Halloween fancy dress going on. I'm sure I'll be front of house doing some sort of fancy dress competition. I'm sure Jerry Bakewell will be involved in hosting that, and we'll make sure everyone's having a good time and it's good fun. So, get your fancy dress ready, wear what you want, and I don't know what the prize is going to be, but I'm sure it'll be something exciting. And obviously, John, as I did hear as well, this is going to be the first Progress show which is being broadcast on Thriller, which is perfectly Halloween themed.
Mike, it's Triller.
Triller TV,
not Thriller. I know you're a big MJ fan, and it is Halloween, but it's not a Thriller, my friend. It's not a Thriller. But that was very reminiscent of Keith Lemon there. But let's forget about that. Those are times I don't want to remember. What about this? Our host for Werewolves in London, chapter 172, Jerry Bakewell, will be returning. What a wonderful, hilarious host. And he's back. I think a lot of people's favourite host inside the Electric Ballroom whenever Progress are in London. So Jerry Bakewell, like I say, he likes to do a little turn for Progress, and when he does, he's always popular with the fans, Mike.
That's it. He's absolutely brilliant. You know, Jerry doesn't half crack me up, some of the crazy things he does, but really looking forward to him hosting the Halloween show, and who knows what he'll be doing. The show when he had the tea bags and was trying to make the fans catch tea bags in the mouths was just, that was crazy. That was a crazy intermission that day. But you never know. You never know what Jerry's going to decide to do. So, looking forward to that. It's going to be exciting times. And hopefully Rufus Hound will pop his head in as well. He was great hosting briefly the other week. And, looking forward to seeing him in attendance as well, hopefully.
But by the way, Mike, I know we spoke about kind of a fancy dress costume with the Electric Ballroom this coming Sunday. You're not wearing your fancy dress mask already, are you? I know you did last year. You're not.
last year when I surprised you, John, as you were petrified on that podcast.
Yes, absolutely. I scare easily. But let's have a quick recap of the last show, Mike. It was last month. Just pretty much a month to the day, September the 22nd. History is written by the victors in the spiritual home, the Electric Ballroom. So many tremendous matches. We saw Gene and Ozawa versus Lycos Jim, and what a tremendous match that was. And I'm sure you're going to tell us all about it. And not forgetting,
Gene was horrible to his son Ozawa. He told him he was adopted and said he was sending him back to Japan. So I absolutely couldn't believe it. I thought there was going to be a brilliant father-son partnership, but I think he sent him back to Pro Wrestling Noah, I believe, to do more training before he accepts him being his tag team partner. So there you go. And Lycos Jim picked up a big win there, and those guys are believer in the States at the moment, doing well over there. So that's great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. We also saw Ali Catch back over on UK shores, Mike, going up against Lizzie Evo. And you know, when you've got top class, world class talent such as Lizzie Evo and Ali Catch, there's going to be a wonderful match, lots of action, fantastic entertainment for the Progress faithful, no less. And they certainly delivered. And speaking of women's matches, of course, we had the Defy Women's World Championship match defended when Marina Shafir, the current champion, defended against Kanji and Nina Samuels in an action-packed triple threat match. Marina Shafir, she was just showing why she's world-class. In fact, all three of these wonderful talents were world-class. A lot of shenanigans happening after the match, especially involving Nina Samuels to get the better of her, Mike. But those two women's matches, they certainly delivered and showed why Progress has the best women's roster in the world.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Obviously, shout out to Lizzie Evo, brilliant. Worked with her for so long, and in Liverpool, especially at TNT, but she's just taking it up to a whole different level now, the live bed, and it's brilliant to see. She's got a huge opportunity coming up this week, but you can see that that cheeky character's coming through even more than ever, and picking up a win over Ali Catch is a huge achievement, and it was great to see Ali back in the UK. Yeah. But on this occasion, Lizzie was absolutely dominant in that matchup, and of course, it was an honour and a privilege to have Marina Shafir over here in the UK. Someone I'd seen in action before and heard a lot about. Obviously, seen her on AEW with John Moxley, and to welcome her to the ballroom, and also to sort of host the meet and greet with her before the show, to see her interacting with the fans and how she was with them was absolutely marvellous. And you could tell you were in the presence of absolute greatness, someone who's, really going to excel on the very highest level of professional wrestling, which is great to see. And of course, in the matchup itself, Kanji and Nina Samuels just couldn't put their differences aside and caused havoc for themselves, allowing Marina to pick up the victory. And I have heard, unfortunately, that Nina has picked up an injury, so I'm unsure what's happening with that matchup coming up. But I wish Nina all the best, and hope she'll be back in competition very soon.
I'm not entirely sure what the drama was between Kenji and Nina Samuels, but I'm the only problem. That's it. Do you hear that, Progress? I am the only problem, and I invite anyone to fight me about it.
And of course, there was the crazy. You talk about sanity. This was insanity. Sanity, the champions going in against the Smoking Aces. And these guys, they brawled around the Electric Ballroom, including the photo booth. And this gentleman got some very exclusive photos.
They're my photos, Jonas. Where'd you find them?
But insanity ensued, and the Smoking Aces became 3-time Progress World Tag Team Champions. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're the only 3-time Progress World Tag Team Champions. And of course, Sanity, Big Damo, and Axel not happy with the outcome following that one. And then, of course, we had Rio defending her Progress Women's World Championship against Emerson Jane in the ballroom last month, Mike. And Rio has been a dominant champion and defending it all over the world. Really kind of trailblazing British wrestling all over the world, and been a phenomenal champion. But going up against another world-class competitor in Emerson Jane. And you've seen Emerson Jane a lot in a TNT ring. Certainly in her, the death matches that she's involved in. But this was a crazy match. Rio retaining this time, but Lizzie Evo getting involved when Rio least expected it. But craziness ensued. A tremendous match, and a lot going on after the match as well, Mike, by the looks of it.
Definitely, yeah. Now, Rio, I believe it's 365 days today that she's been the Progress Women's Champion for a year. So that's an amazing achievement, especially with, as you said, the roster being so stacked, and there have been just some absolutely brilliant competitors. People like Millie McKenzie, Lizzie, obviously Session Moth Martinez, some absolutely brilliant female competitors out there. And Rio has managed to, bat them all off so far. So, but a huge matchup coming up. Obviously, Emerson Jane and Rio know each other so well. Tag up at North Wrestling. So for them to face each other was a great matchup. And, Emerson Jane, the main event Empress, couldn't quite make it happen on this occasion, but Rio showed her dominance once again, the unbreakable one.
Game time. Let's go. You know I didn't come here to lose. No, I don't play by the rules. I go hard, I go home. Go hard, go home. You know I didn't come here to lose. No, I don't play by the rules. I go hard, I go home. Go hard, I go home. You know I didn't come here to lose. No, I don't play by the rules. I go hard, I go home. Go hard, go home. You know I didn't come here to lose. No, I don't play by the rules. I go hard, I go home. Go hard, I go home.
The tag team match was one of my favourite matches on the card. It was chaos all over the show. And as I mentioned, the two photos you've shown of the photo booth and of our good friend there holding up his photos there, they're actually off my phone. They're taken off my phone, them two photos. I took them. Brilliant. So I was actually following the action around the ballroom at that time and managed to snap that. They obviously missed two of the photos out, but I wouldn't want to be the one who pissed off Big Damo and Axel Tisha that much and led to that face there, because I tell you what, those two guys are going to get a hell of a beating once Sanity get their hands on them again. So, I think, and I feel like I felt bad for Chuck Mambo that day because he came out to try and help in some way and caused absolute chaos. So now Sunshine Machine are embroiled in it as well. It's going to be more tag team chaos, I believe. But that street fight, it was wild. And the cleanup crew were required after that one. We had to have an interval just because of that matchup. So,
Charlie, brother, we've done it. Woo! Free time. We did it. We told you. We told you. 6 months I was off with a knee injury. And now we're back. We're back, baby. Back. The tag team champions 3 times. We dominate. We are #1 in Progress. And you know what? We don't care who you are. We don't care who you listen to those lot over there. Listen to those idiots. They don't know who they're booing, who they're talking to, because we're the best. And if you want to challenge us, bring it on. We're the #1s. We're the #1s.
We also had Paul Robinson, Robbo, defended his Proteas Championship against Connor Mills last month in the ballroom, and Robbo came out on top, came out the victor. But Progress fans see him as a tough guy, but when I look at Connor Mills, I still see that timid, soft-spoken, long-haired, wet wipe trainee red shirt. So even after the match, Robbo didn't have any kind words to say about Connor Mills, who, to give him his props, is easily one of the best talents in the UK, or has kind of risen to be one of the best talents in the UK. But it wasn't enough on the day. Robbo came out on top, and I know we're going to be talking more about Robbo a bit later. And then, of course, we saw a very important match, the return match of Cara Noir. After more than a year out of action, many of us thought that we'd never see Cara Noir perform again, let alone back inside a Progress ring, let alone at a high level that we are used to from such a performer. We saw him make that incredible surprise return on the Monday, Bank Holiday Monday in August, after All In, of course, Mike. What a return. It really did. It went viral, and I think everybody in the ballroom was shocked that day. It was very emotional. And of course, we saw Cara go up against Inamura. And yeah, you can imagine this being a hard-hitting match between these two big guys that love kind of striking really, really hard. Cara psyching himself up before the match there. The emotional entrance, the entrance we thought we'd never see again, Mike. And what a match it was between these two, Inamura and Cara Noir. Cara with his hand raised there, of course. But an emotional match between those two. And what a victory, what a moment when Cara Noir had his hand raised at the end. And we were all pleased to see Cara Noir back inside a Progress ring.
Yeah, a lot of big feels around the room that day, a lot of heart in that one. And, Cara had a new version of his entrance, which was absolutely amazing, an epic version there. And great to see Inamura back at the ballroom as well. Someone who came over from Japan and worked so hard over here with Progress and has just developed a whole new sort of character and is just absolutely on top form at the moment. So to see that matchup between those two was absolutely brilliant. And obviously Cara Noir came out on top in that one, but don't take anything away from Inamura. That guy is an amazing athlete and is going to go very far in this sport. And, it's just great to see Cara back. And, in these big match situations, shows they have got the absolute skills. And that match was just exquisitely done perfectly. So it's very good.
Absolutely. We also saw the greatness, Tate Mayfair's, and a match against Mike Bird. And we've seen Mike Bird in a Progress ring many times, but we've also seen Tate Mayfair's, and maybe a slightly, I don't know, how would you describe Tate Mayfair's? He had a match against Eddie Dennis back in August. And Eddie defeated Tate, obviously, to become the new number one contender and consoled Tate after the match. We've seen maybe a slightly more, I don't know, compassionate side, maybe a slightly more down-to-earth side of Tate Mayfair's over recent months. And we're going to talk about his upcoming match this coming Sunday. But his match against Mike Bird, arguably one of the best technical wrestlers in all of the UK, if not for... but Tate Mayfair's, like I say, we've seen a slightly different side to Tate over recent months.
Yeah, Mike Bird, absolutely excellent. And obviously, Tate's showing a different side to his personality. I think he's trying very hard to convince everyone, including himself, that he can behave himself, doesn't need the brass knucks anymore. He can, fight by the rules. But for me, I just don't believe a word that man says. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him. And the way he's been going in the gym, I probably couldn't throw him very far. So, I am very wary of him still, very wary of him. And we'll have to see what happens. He wants to be friends with Eddie Dennis, obviously. And then this matchup that's been set up for Sunday, I think that'll be a huge proving ground. And I'll be interested to see how Tate Mayfair behaves on that day. But obviously, as we're going to go on to speak about in a moment, he, arguably saved Eddie's career in that big main event against Luke Jacobs. Luke absolutely been a punishing champion, just absolutely steamrolling his opponents at the moment.
It's a beast.
And, Eddie just didn't stand a chance on this occasion. Luke was just a force of nature. And it came down to that moment where Tate came down and threw in the towel and literally potentially saved Eddie's career there, because Luke was looking set to finish him off. And Luke, look at that. The Lion of Manchester.
He's been a dominant champion, a frighteningly dominant champion, Luke Jacobs. You just need to look at the guy, watch him in the ring. He's just, he's terrifying. What he's capable of doing to his opponents, Mike, is scary. I don't know many people that would really want to stand in front of him, but we'll talk about his next opponent. But obviously, Eddie, devastated, knowing that could be quite possibly his final shot at being Progress Men's World Champion again. And like I say, he had the championship cruelly taken away from him due to injury back in 2019. He's never been able to regain the championship, despite numerous efforts, regardless of who the Progress champion was at the time when he faced them. And he was not lucky against Luke Jacobs. In fact, he was lucky to, escape the way he did. Dare I say it, thanks to Tate Mayfair's. And that kind of adds, another layer to this whole story, which we will get to. But very, very interesting.
Every single time I come to Progress to defend my world title, I say what is going to happen, and just like that, just like you saw with Eddie Dennis, it comes true over and over and over. It is not arrogance, it is simply pure confidence in my own ability as the best wrestler in all of Europe.
But yeah, the last show from Progress Wrestling was absolutely tremendous. Like I say, it would have aired live, but do you know whether it's dropped yet or whether it's likely to drop yet soon, Mike?
Yeah, I believe it's on there. It was watchable on the day live to anyone watching on Demand Progress Plus, and then on the Friday after the show, it was uploaded onto Demand Progress Plus for all our fans to watch at home. And then obviously we got the exciting news that the next couple of shows are going to be broadcast on Triller. So the Fight TV crew, so that's going to be absolutely amazing. So we're really looking forward to being able to, for our fans worldwide and everybody watching at home, to be able to watch along as well. And the more people who get to watch the shows and enjoy what we're doing in the ballroom, the more people we're looking forward to welcoming to the ballroom in London, and obviously our shows elsewhere in the country, including obviously we've got Manchester coming up, Jonas.
Absolutely. We'll talk a little bit about that as well towards the end of this broadcast. But details running along the bottom of the screen as far as where you can sign up to Demand Progress Plus. Demand Progress Plus .progresswrestling.com is where you need to be heading. Good value for money. You get all the live streams of the shows as they happen from the ballroom or wherever from around the world. But very good value for money, Mike. But some of the best money. If you're a wrestling fan, and if you love your independent wrestling, if you love your British independent wrestling, you can't go too far wrong by signing up to Progress on Demand. Demand Progress Plus.
Watch it all on there, Jonas. And as you mentioned, TNT got so much stuff coming up in the next few weeks. 9th and 10th of November, we're going to be at the Liverpool Comic Con, which is always an exciting, packed event. And TNT are putting on shows there. And then coming up at the end of November, 30th of November, Cold Day in Hell, alongside a TNT Ignition stacked show as well. So loads of exciting stuff coming up in November for TNT. But Jonas, let's speak about the Halloween show for Progress. We've got coming up this Sunday, the 27th, Werewolves of London, Chapter 172. Kicks off at 3 o'clock. And that moon was out last night, Jonas, as I was driving back from Stratford-upon-Avon, and it's bound to be out on Halloween.
Don't forget about the fancy dress competition, Mike.
Excited for that one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's talk about some of the matches, shall we? Because it's an absolutely stacked card. As I mentioned at the top of the show, it's very, very title heavy. But for the purpose of this hype show, we're going to talk about this incredible four-way. RKJ versus Connor Mills versus Azoya versus Mike D. But Mikey D, we also see, you may remember, from Super Strong Style this year, where he was very much part of that. And a part of the Battle Royal on day 2. But he's a freak of nature. He's a big guy, looks great, but can move like a cat around that ring. But looking at those 4 outstanding athletes, competitors, that's going to be a tremendous match. RKJ, Zazoya, Connor Mills, Mikey D. That's world-class talent in that 4-way there, Mike.
Yeah, Mike D's been absolutely super impressive when I've seen him at Progress. Last year we worked with Brian Cage from AEW, and Mike D, very reminiscent of him in a way. But this guy's got some great personality. He was the TNA Good Check winner, and for the males, and obviously he's been super impressive. So I'm really excited to see him back in action. Zazoya, was absolutely amazing at Progress, as you mentioned, in the August Bank Holiday weekender. Connor Mills came up short against Robbo. We didn't get much chance to chat about that a moment ago, but Robbo was just vicious in that one. So Mills has got something to prove, and RKJ, obviously, always a formidable competitor. Anyone who's been brought up by the Knight family is tough, but this guy is like a hybrid of numerous different wrestling styles. RKJ just absolutely brilliant, and that's four-way going to just be a wild matchup, and it'll be intriguing to see who picks up the win in that one, because arguably any of the four could.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I would also say about those four competitors, I think it's also to be considered, a match where the winner could go on to greater things with Progress. And let's not forget, RKJ, a former Progress Atlas champion, and what a champion he was. He, I'm sure, would like to have another bite of the cherry at that championship, or maybe the World Championship. And who knows, whoever comes out on top in that one could definitely put them in themselves in a good position for some sort of contention down the road. Let's talk about this one here. G Money and Session Moth going up against Sunshine Machine. Sunshine Machine, of course, the longest reigning Progress World Tag Team Champions in history, still going strong, still one of the biggest baby faces in Progress Wrestling even today. They always get a fantastic reception from the Progress faithful whenever they step out. That infectious entrance music, the beach balls, and the high octane, the high energy tag team maneuvers from those two. But G Money and Session Moth, they can't be overlooked in this one. And like I say, G Money, he got rid of his adopted son after one match on the last show, and got Session Moth back in tow. But that's going to be a fun match, and like I say, you have to be there to sample this one.
Well, I've seen a change of heart in both Session Moth and Jane at Progress, to be honest. And I normally thoroughly enjoy working with both those competitors around the country. But the last couple of months, there's been a bit of bitterness, a bit of anger, maybe even resentment. And, it's not the same Gene Money that was at Progress a year ago. I don't know if he feels like he's let himself down, or if Progress has let him down, but he's got this new attitude, and he can see. He's said this recently on social media. Moth is constantly overlooked in this company because how entertaining she naturally is. I also happen to know how that feels, don't I? Progress. So see, he's obviously got a point to prove, but he's going to make it difficult for himself going against Sunshine Machine, one of the best tag teams in the UK. But it'd be intriguing, John, as you say. But yeah, I'm not sure. I like to see what's happening with Gene at the moment. I don't think he's in a good headspace, and I think for such a talented and charismatic guy, I don't know if that's a good thing for him at Progress. To be honest, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens.
That could also lead to quite a lot of unpredictability in terms of how it goes, and certainly for Sunshine Machine. It might not be a G Money that the Sunshine Machine want to be facing this coming Sunday from the ballroom. But let's talk about this one here. And this match here has been brewing, has been building for a little while now, Mike. But it's going to be for the Proteus Championship. Long-time champion Paul Robinson, Robbo, going up against Simon Miller. Now, we've not seen Simon in a Progress ring for a little while. I think it was back in April, if I'm not mistaken. So a little while ago, but he's back. He's got a championship shot against Robbo. These two, have gone to loggerheads through promos on social media, but Simon Miller has a chance to get his very first bit of gold in a Progress ring, Mike. This is a fascinating one for me, certainly with the different dynamics involved with these two competitors. What's your thoughts heading into this one?
I just think Robbo is just so vicious, and when these guys have clashed in the past, you can see the rage and the anger in Robbo. And Simon has worked so hard in the gym, so hard in his training, his wrestling skills have advanced so far. I just think it'll be a really interesting contest, this one, because Simon obviously spoke in his video about his plans for the Proteus Championship, and it's undoubtable that Simon is deserving of a championship. But I just think Robbo, this is his precious. It's his, Lord of the Rings. This is his ring, and he's not going to want to lose that at all, especially not to Simon, who is somebody who he. I can see from the way he speaks to him, and he just derogatory way he talks to him, and it's just the lack of respect there from Robbo is palpable, and I just don't think that he's going to want to give that up. And I don't know, Simon Miller's going to have to absolutely batter Robbo to get that championship away from him. I just don't know if that's going to happen, but we will see on Sunday, October 27th. It'll be exciting. Will we see a golden up for Mr. Miller?
I can see that being an all-out war, a brawl. I don't think the ring is going to contain these two, to be honest with you. I don't think the ring is going to contain them. And I think if you sat in the first, let's see, 5 or 6 rows, just be prepared to move quickly. That was going to get wild. And of course, Robbo's statements. Do you really think Simon Miller is capable of doing what the current WWE champion is not able to do? Strong words there from Robbo. Strong words indeed.
Simon Miller. So you think that after I've gone toe to toe and taken the best part of the kicking from Conor Mills, you think that you've got the right to do that to me? You think you can just wander into that ring and pop me because you feel like it? You have no idea the fight you've let yourself in for. You think this is a Proteus wrestling match? You're in for a Proteus fight. I'm not going to be like Tate Mayfair's or any of the other people you've shared the ring with at Progress. No, you're getting in the ring with me, and I swear down, I'm coming for you, and I ain't come for no one else. You put your hands on my title. You touch this belt with your greasy YouTuber hands. I tell you what, payback's a bitch, Simon, because I am gonna batter you like nobody before. For you, the bad times for coming, because this right here, Progress Wrestling Proteus Championship, it's my goddamn manor.
I did the right thing. When I threw in that towel, it was to protect you, Eddie. You didn't see it that way. In fact, you kind of threw it in my face. And normally I'd react one way about that, but I am trying to be a better man. The man that you told me I can be. I need to know that you meant it. I need to know that you meant the words that you said. So I've got us a match. A tag team match. And our opponents, they're going to be announced real soon. I just hope that you're a man of your word, Eddie.
Let's talk about this one here. Subculture going up against Eddie and Tate. Eddie Dennis, Tate Mayfair's teaming for the first time. And we saw the picture earlier of Tate throwing in the towel, arguably not just saving the match, but saving Eddie Dennis's career after that World Championship match against Luke Jacobs last month. This one's interesting for a number of reasons. It will be the first time that we've seen Flash Morgan Webster inside a Progress ring in over 5 years. The first time that Subculture have performed together inside of a Progress ring. The first time that Eddie Dennis and Tate Mayfair's have teamed together in this kind of, this kind of alliance that we never expected to see, Mike. But we have seen a slightly different side to Tate Mayfair's. Whether we can fully trust that side of Tate Mayfair's, whether Eddie Dennis can fully trust that side of Tate Mayfair's, whether they can coexist on the day. We know that Subculture, they are, renowned. They've won tag team championships in TNA, WWE, all over the world, all over the UK. But now back inside a Progress ring teaming together. This is going to be an interesting match for a number of reasons. I'm more interested to see how Tate and Eddie coexist and what sort of bearing that might have on the match, Mike.
Yeah, and as well, it must be a real conflict of interest for Eddie, because I believe last time Mark Andrews was at the ballroom, they were tagging together as FSU, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on facing his, arguably with his new friend against his, well, I would say they're still friends, but former tag team partner for sure. So it'll be really interesting to see how Eddie feels. And I feel like Tate, I'm not sure if Tate picked their opponents for this matchup, but it feels to me like it feels more like more mind games from Tate, to be honest. But I'm not sure. We'll have to see. And as you said, Jonas, can Eddie and Tate coexist? And is there going to be any issues between Subculture and Eddie? And it's going to be a really exciting one. And tag team contest. We'll all know the answers by the end of Sunday's show. So,
and going on to another tag team match. This one for the Progress Tag Team World Championship. The Experience taking on the newly crowned 3-time Progress World Tag Team Champions, the Smoking Aces. I know that they've got a rather unpleasant nickname that a lot of the fans like to call them, but the Experience, LA Taylor and Sky Smithson. Now, I recently had LA Taylor on my podcast, Wrestling with Johners, a couple of weeks ago, where we spoke about her run in Progress, and certainly teaming with Sky Smithson as one half of the Experience. They know each other very, very well, of course, but the Experience have got the fans behind them nowadays, Mike. This is going to be an interesting match, and to see whether the Experience have the experience to hang with the Smoking Aces.
Yeah, definitely. And I think LA Taylor and Sky Smithson, two absolutely formidable competitors. I felt like they unfortunately got sort of kept in the wings a little bit by the superstar Lana Austin when they were sort of working alongside her. And I think this is a huge opportunity for them to showcase what they can really do. But they are going in against, as you said, one of the most dangerous tag teams, the Smoking Aces, who've just recently picked back up those tag titles. I don't think they're going to want to lose them. I first saw Charlie Sterling's must be over 12 years ago now, John, is up in Preston, first of all, and I was absolutely supremely impressed by that guy as he first came through, and to see how he's developed and added Nick into this role as the tag team. They're just such a brilliant tag team, and I think it's going to be an interesting one though, because LA and Smithson have both been excellent all over the world recently, and that match is going to be a massive clash. And as you said, the Aces absolutely hated, and the Experience are now beloved by the ballroom audience there, the Progress faithful. So yeah, it could really be the crowd that do that for them on that day. If that crowd really gets behind them, anything could happen there. So yeah, I'll be really intrigued to see how that one ends up.
This one here. Now it's time to show everyone exactly what the Experience can do. And Mike, you know me, I'm a massive fan of tag team wrestling, and we've got a few in this show to look forward to on Sunday. But that tag team championship match, it's going to be fun. And could we see the first all-female tag team become Progress World Tag Team Champions? Maybe a little bit of history in the making this coming Sunday. I can't wait to find out. I know you can't, and you could be a part of it at home. Be there. Down to London, get yourself down to Camden, the Electric Ballroom, progresswrestling.com/tickets. Let's talk about this one here for the Defy World Championship. And we saw Cara Noir make his return to Progress Wrestling last month. And what a fantastic match that was against Inamura. And this time round, and we saw the face-off over All In Weekends, that Bank Holiday Monday, when Cara Noir made his shock surprise return to Progress Wrestling in that face-off against Kenta in the center of that ring. And they finally have the opportunity to go one-on-one for Kenta's championship. Kenta, one of the most dominant champions in all of international professional wrestling in 2024. I can't think of a better wrestler to go up against Kenta and to provide a suitable challenge to his championship than Cara Noir. But Mike, you have to be looking forward to this one. This is going to be a world-class match from the ballroom this coming Sunday.
Yeah, I've seen Kenta right through his early days of his career, right the way through his time at WWE, and of course, his time after that. I saw him in LA face Minoru Suzuki And this guy, it seems to just be getting even more and more dangerous all the time. He attacked Ricky Knight Jr. before his match with him, just battered him before the match even started. And, he'll do anything to keep that championship. And he still has the technique and the skills. These are two of the biggest superstars on the planet facing off in London at the Electric Ballroom. This is a must-see match. If you're not there for this one, for the Defy World Championship, then you're absolutely missing out, because Cara Noir versus Kenta is going to be a masterpiece. And, I wouldn't be surprised, though, if we saw a brand new champion. As tough as Kenta is, I cannot see Cara Noir going to sleep.
Streaming live on the on-demand service and, of course, on Triller TV. But that is going to be one match to watch. For the Defy World Championship inside a Progress ring from the Electric Ballroom. Let's talk about this one here then, Mike. Rio. I think you rightly said earlier that she's just ticked over that 1 year mark as being Progress Women's World Champion. But she'll be defending against Lizzie Evo. Now, Lizzie was vicious in her match against Ali Catch last month in the ballroom. And that attack that took place after Rio's match against Emerson Jane, this time around they go face-to-face, they go head-to-head with the Progress Women's World Championship on the line. Like I say, Rio's been a fighting champion, taking on all comers all around the world, going up against Lizzie Evo. I think this is going to be the hardest and toughest match of Rio's championship reign so far. Lizzie has been on a tear, not just recently, but for a long time now across the UK and further afield. I think this is worth the price of admission. If you haven't got your tickets already, get them. Don't be disappointed, because this match, Lizzie Evo and Rio, could be a show stealer, Mike. It could be match of the night.
Yeah, I've seen these two face off numerous times in the past, and it's always been a show stealer. These two are two of the toughest females in the UK, in Europe, on the planet. Yeah. And I've seen them wrestle all over the place. I've seen them have all sorts of different styles of matches, but these two have been just super impressive. And to see how their careers have gone from strength to strength to strength, and then this is a huge opportunity for Lizzie Evo. You can't take that away from her. This is an absolute massive opportunity for her. And as she says there, Rio's long reign makes it sweeter to be the one to end her era. Goodness me, if she does that in the ballroom, there is going to be some booing going on. But the Liver Bird standing tall last show with that belt, standing over Rio, that's an image you're not going to forget. And will we see it again on Sunday? That's the question you've got to ask yourself, Jonas.
This is my division. The new era of Progress Women's Wrestling starts with me.
You want to challenge everyone under the fucking sun? Do you know what it's like to sit and watch shit after shit get put in front of me?
Yeah, you have been here the whole time. And what stopped you challenging me?
I keep that shiny for me, because that's coming back with me.
You want it? Come get me.
Fatality.
Let's talk about this one here, which is likely to be the main event this coming Sunday for everybody inside what is sure to be a packed Electric Ballroom. The Men's World Championship, the Progress Men's World Champion, Luke Jacobs, defends against a man like DeVries. I know these two know each other very, very well. We mentioned earlier how Luke Jacobs has been a phenomenal, a ferocious, a dominant world champion since picking up the championship over Kid Lycos a few months ago. He's been a beast. He's been a brick wall. He's terrifying in that ring, Mike. And man like Darius, he's had his opportunities before, but I think we're seeing a whole new man like Darius in 2024. And I don't know whether Luke Jacobs is quite ready, quite prepared, or maybe, overlooking man like Darius. I think there's a certain bit of arrogance from Luke Jacobs. And I think man like Darius, in the form of his life, wrestling all over the world, I think if now is the time for man like Darius, he's got to bring it on Sunday.
Definitely. This, as we've just said about Lizzie Evo, this is Darius's massive opportunity.
Yeah.
He's had a shot before in Birmingham a couple of years back now, I believe, against Spike Trevay, where I thought this is going to be his moment. He's going to take the title here, and this is going to be, Darius is going to be on fire, but it didn't work out for him on that occasion. Now this is more like it. This is Luke Jacobs on an absolute tear, been a dominant champion, amazing, but Darius fresh, back from America. Just these guys are both at the top of their game, and that match is just going to be amazing. I'm so excited for that one. Has Darius got what it takes to dethrone Luke Jacobs? We are going to find out on Sunday.
Absolutely. And Luke said that if he don't walk into Manchester at the next show as Progress Men's World Champion, then he should be ashamed and embarrassed. And we'll talk about that very, very soon. But Mike, let's just recap some of the matches. It's an absolutely loaded card. That four-way between RKJ, Zazoya, Connor
Who's you
Mills,
picking that one, Jonas?
and Mikey D. Wow. I've got to be honest with you. You can't overlook RKJ, former Atlas champion. I think, he's a future world champion, in his future. But you look at the other three, they are all hungry, all vying for better things in Progress Wrestling. Zazoya, really fun, high energy athlete over from Spain. We saw him in August. And Mikey D, like I say, he's had his shot at the Atlas Championship once before and super strong style. Connor Mills, arguably one of the best performers in the UK, but I'm going to stick with RKJ. I think that's going to be a wonderful match. Then, of course, you've got G Money and Session Moth teaming to take on Sunshine Machine. That's going to be interesting. Some fun dynamics there. And, of course, you've got the crowd favourite, Sunshine Machine, who are always over with the Progress faithful. Then for the Protest Championship, you got Paul Robinson defended his championship against longtime foe Simon Miller. And will it be Simon Miller's first taste of gold in a Progress ring, Mike? We will have to see. And then, of course, Subculture, the first time that they've performed in a Progress ring together, the first time that Flashmob Webster has been back inside a Progress ring in over 5 years, taking on the unlikely duo of Eddie Dennis and Tate Mayfair's. The dynamics there and the kind of the heat between these two teams is palpable, Mike, and I can't wait to see what goes down in that one there. For the Tag Team Championships of the world, the Progress World Champions at the moment, the Smoking Aces, the only 3-time Progress World Tag Team Champions, are taking on the Experience, who have got a lot of momentum behind them. That's going to be a fun encounter. And can we see new World Progress Tag Team Champions come Sunday in the ballroom? Then, of course, the Defy World Championship will be defended inside the ballroom. Long reigning champion Kenta will be defended against Cara Noir, fresh from his return. That's going to be a match between two world-class athletes, two world-class competitors, worth the price of admission. I know I've said it before, but progresswrestling.com/tickets is where you need to be heading. And this one here for the Progress Women's World Championship, Mike, Lizzie Evo versus Rio. Rio, the longest reigning women's world champion. Just ticked over a year. Lizzie Evo vying for a title that she's never held before. And then, of course, Luke Jacobs, who's been a terrifying world champion and a formidable force in that ring, going up against man like Darius, who has another shot at the world championship. But that is a loaded card, my friends. Titles galore. And some wonderful stories happening there. And wow, get your
so
tickets.
excited for it, John. As it's going to be an amazing show, and make sure you wear your fancy dress gear. Get yourselves down there to the ballroom on Sunday. It's there's just so much great wrestling action there. There's so much to be excited by. The four-way match, the tag team matches, obviously the Defy Championship match, Kenta versus Cara Noir. Lizzie Evo gets her opportunity. Derice gets his opportunity. It's stories that have been building for 2 years for these people, and it's just it is epic. It's a special show, and make sure you're there. This is your opportunity. Get your tickets now on Dice. Make sure if you don't get there that you watch it on Triller or Demand Progress Plus. This is your opportunity to see this, and this is going to be something really, really special. So make sure you're involved.
Absolutely. And Luke Jacobs alluded to walking into Manchester, Mike, as the men's world champion. And of course, we will see man like Derice in action at Stay Young and Invincible Chapter 173 from the O2 Ritz on November the 17th. We will also see Lycos Jim taking on True and Lacey. And Cara Noir, will he be Defy World Champion when he takes on Charlie Evans and the Progress Men's World Champion Luke Jacobs? If he overcomes Malak Derice, he will be walking into Manchester as the Progress Men's World Champion to defend his championship once more, Mike. But that's just a taster of what's around the corner. And of course, you can get your tickets at progresswrestling.com/tickets.
Being back in Manchester in the Northwest, huge for Luke Jacobs. That very special moment for him, and obviously he's hoping that he'll still have the Progress Men's World Championship with him when we get back to the O2 Ritz there in Manchester. So exciting times coming up. So much going on, Jonas, and we hope all the Progress faithful can join us for that. And we look forward to seeing you in the Electric Ballroom on Sunday this week. And I'd just like to say, Jonas, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure to join you on this show. Thank you for your hosting. Done a brilliant job as always. And look forward to catching up with you at the ballroom, my friend.
Can't wait. But Mike, it's going to be a tremendous show. Werewolves of London, this coming Sunday, the 27th of October, from the spiritual home of Progress, the Electric Ballroom in Camden. We'll see you there. Get your tickets today.
Awoo!
Charlie, brother! We dominate! We are number one in Progress! I know! You had to stick his fucking nose out of our Titus gun! Free time! We did it!
I was angry, tried to do something good, and I fucked up.
We're the best!
We deserve to make history as well. Not only do we belong in Progress, but we deserve to be tag team champions.
Betrayed by one of my own, my flesh, my blood.
As that was been put up for adoption.
Why, Martina? Now you're asking why.
Hello.
I'm back now, and I'm here to make a fucking point.
Don't miss your flight in October, okay? You and we are going to put the final nail in British wrestling's coffin, and it kills me.
That threw in that towel was to protect you, Eddie. You didn't see it that way. I am trying to be a better man. The man that you told me I can be. I need to know that you meant it. So I've got us a match. I just hope that you're a man of your word.
This is my division. The new era of Progress women's wrestling starts with me.
Do you know what it's like to sit and watch shit after shit get put in front of me? And keep that shiny for me, because that's coming back with me.
You put your hand on my title. Payback's a bitch, Simon, because I am gonna batter you like nobody before.
You, my friend, have become predictable. You all just comes. We all know that 2024 is the year of the dragon. And by the end of the year of the dragon, I'm destined to be glistening in gold. Since I made this fucking title relevant again, everyone's a shite. Me and this lad came through training together. We came into Progress at the same time. I won everything. I